The first lie every tyrant tells is that they're here to make things more efficient. That's how it always starts. Not with tanks in the streets, but with software, with optimization, with streamlining. And on January 20th, 2025, that lie was etched into executive authority under Executive Order 14158, the creation of the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. At face value, it sounds benign. Who doesn't want government to run better? But when you pull back the curtain, you realize this isn't about efficiency. This is a hostile restructuring of the American state. Let's look at the facts. The DOGE order didn't just consolidate oversight. It handed the keys of the republic to Elon Musk. Not as a consultant, not as a contractor, but as something far more dangerous. A vendor and an insider at the same time. Under 14158, Musk and his affiliated companies, Starlink, X, Tesla, Neuralink, and whatever subsidiaries are buried under shell companies, were placed at the helm of auditing and optimizing critical federal systems. But instead of hiring nonpartisan auditors or transparency watchdogs, DOGE brought in a cadre of 18 to 25-year-old coders, many of them drawn from the Silicon Valley tech pipeline and dark corners of the online hacking world. Why is that a problem? Because these aren't civil servants. They weren't trained in ethics, constitutional law, or public accountability. They were given root access to federal servers, including the IRS, USAID, the Treasury, and even cloud infrastructure holding state-level election systems. Think about what that means. Unvetted private actors, loyal not to the Constitution, but to Elon Musk's vision, were given administrative access to the inner workings of government. And what did they do with that access? They scraped everything. Full databases, internal documentation, mission-critical metadata. They mirrored federal infrastructure to private servers, many of them linked to companies under Musk's control. This isn't speculation. This is documented behavior. And that brings us to the most important principle in this entire story. Possewood. The purpose of a system is what it does. Not what it claims, not what it advertises, what it does. So, what does DOGE do? It doesn't improve efficiency. It doesn't increase transparency. It consolidates control. It reroutes oversight from public institutions to private platforms. It canonizes a technomonarch into the core of the republic. That's not reform. That's capture. And it's not just about Elon. He's the prototype, the sacrificial lamb, the beta test for Monarchy 2.0. DOGE is the live trial run of the future system, one where charismatic billionaires stand in for kings and software developers replace elected officials. You don't need a throne when you've got root access. You don't need a crown when you control the update schedule. This is exactly what neo-reactionary theorists like Curtis Yarvin have been advocating for over a decade. A post-democratic system where governance is managed by a CEO king. No elections, no representation, just a shareholder model where the state becomes a product and the citizens are data points. DOGE is that vision in production, and we're not talking theory anymore. We're talking real-world access to federal records. We're talking real-time visibility into elections, IRS audits, economic forecasts, and military logistics. The danger isn't just the abuse of that power. The danger is that no one, not Congress, not the courts, not the states, can see clearly into what's happening. Because DOGE wasn't built to be seen. It was built to be unaccountable, to operate behind the shield of efficiency while it rewrites the foundation of American governance in real time. So let's be clear. This is not about innovation. This is not about making government better. This is about making government obsolete, replacing democracy with code, replacing institutions with platforms, replacing the public will with private data. And unless we wake up now, unless we rip the mask off DOGE and expose it for what it is, this won't be a passing phase. It'll be the template for every system that comes next. We must remember, liberty does not mean trusting the powerful to govern efficiently. Liberty means governing ourselves transparently, accountably, and together. That's the Enlightenment. That's the firewall. And that's what DOGE was built to destroy. Let's make sure it fails.